There's nothing wrong with backing down from an argument you have with your girlfriend, but there is something wrong when you continually compromise yourself in order to keep the peace, with the understanding that she'll withhold intimacy as a result of you holding your ground. That is a power play. What's good? Welcome back to the Renaissance Man's Templar. I place you to come in from the battlefield of life to create, reflect, refocus, and remember the war is yours, so let's conquer it. This is power, what separates the boys from the men. And if you want to conquer it with me, I suggest you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and join the league of extraordinary spiritual kings. Arguing your point rarely changes anyone's mind. Even when you appear to win, you lose because you stir up resentment. A way better way of getting others to agree with you is to demonstrate your point of view without saying anything at all. People believe what they can see, and if you haven't proven with your actions, you need to keep working. Number one, when you argue with someone, even if they seem to agree with you, you can never be certain that they really do. They might, politely agree while secretly resenting you, or your choice of words may have offended them, or your tone. So in any case, people distrust words because they know you'll say anything, including offering bogus sources and statistics to support your case. Number two, demonstrating your point is more effective and powerful. In this way, your target can see the evidence right in front of her. There are no words to be misinterpreted. The British architect Sir Christopher Wren knew the power of demonstration and demonstration over argument. When he built a town hall for the city of Westminster, the mayor worried that the second floor would fall on his office below. Wren knew this was impossible, but instead of arguing, he installed 2 more columns and the mayor was satisfied. Years later, workers on a high scaffold discovered that the columns weren't touching the ceiling. When you demonstrate rather than arguing, you don't make your opponents defensive. They're more open to seeing what you want them to see and thus to agreeing with you. There is one time when arguing is the right strategy. When you've been caught in a lie and need to distract others from your deception, in that case, argue strenuously and with conviction. The more emotional you get, the more likely people are to believe you. The aristocrat con artist Count Victor practiced this technique. He scammed many people by selling a box that he claimed was money, making a money-making machine. Usually, when it didn't work, people were too embarrassed to report that they'd been swindled. But one victim, a sheriff, confronted him. He argued vehemently with a lot of baffling terminology that the sheriff must have damaged the box or used it incorrectly. He offered to give the sheriff back his money, plus written instructions, and promised to visit the sheriff and examine the box. Lusig handed over $100 bill, $100 bills actually, and the sheriff departed satisfied. Later, however, he was arrested and convicted for passing counterfeit notes. Lusig won the argument and never heard from the sheriff again. This is a law of power, and you must remember to never overuse any of your tactics. So with that being said, you have to be wary of people who withhold information, feeling like they have nothing to prove, not wanting to argue their point because they don't know what to say. So don't ignore people's lack of words, people's lack of effort, people's lack of presence. Pay attention to actions because actions speak louder than words. The best way to see what a woman's intentions are are her actions. Is this person trying even in their actions, even if they're not at 100%? You understand me? So there's nothing wrong with backing down from an argument you have with your girlfriend, but there is something wrong when you continually compromise yourself in order to keep the peace, with the understanding that she'll withhold intimacy as a result of you holding your ground. That is a power play, also known as a shit test. Don't get me wrong, both sexes are guilty of manipulation. Battered women, go back to their abusive boyfriends and husbands, and pussy whipped men compromise themselves and their ambitions to better serve their girlfriends' insecurities. My intent in promoting this rule is to open the eyes of younger men who already predisposed to devaluing themselves and placing women as the goal of their lives rather than seeing themselves as the prize to be sought after. Because compromise is always going to be a part of any relationship, but what is key is realizing when that compromise becomes the result of manipulation. What in the effect, and developing the confidence to be uncompromising in those situations. This is where a firm understanding of the critical rule of relationships becomes essential.